All right. Asanas of lesson 2. And we have a couple of standing poses first before we go to the shoulder stand and variation. So we start with Virabhadra 1, which in English is usually referred to as the hero pose or the warrior pose. Vira means hero. Bhadra is the name of some mythological warrior. It's a standing pose, so we start with Tadasana, standing erect. Distribute the weight on the foot soles evenly. Straighten the legs, tilt the pelvis a little bit forward, pull the shoulders a little bit back. Stretch up the back of the neck. Virabhadra 1, we spread the feet wide like we did in Utthita Parsvakonasana. Join the hands above the head. Turn 90 degrees. And misalign the feet like we did in the triangle pose. Then we bend the front leg while keeping the rear leg straight. Then we stretch up while keeping the shoulders depressed like in the tree pose, and we arch back a little bit. So try to keep the rear foot on the floor, the heel on the floor. Then bend the front leg a little deeper ideally until the thigh is horizontal. So you have to come a little bit out of your comfort zone. And like Utthita Parsvakonasana is a bit a heavy pose, so don't stay too long, especially not in the beginning, because it will disturb your sattva if you overshoot the goal. Virabhadra 1 on the other side. Step by step, you spread the feet and the arms, you join the hands, you turn 90 degrees, bend the front leg, and then you stretch up and arch back. Sometimes you see people doing this and they drop the head back. It's really bad for the neck. So try to visualize the spine as a harmonious curve all the way up to the base of the skull. And so your eyes are just looking up at the ceiling under an angle without a kink in the neck. Bend the front leg a little bit more. There you go. Virabhadra 2, the second warrior. Spread the feet as wide as with the previous one. This time you keep your arms horizontal. You turn the feet, but not the upper body. The focus is, the gaze is at the hand pointing forward. Then you bend your front leg again. Now, often it is done in this way, that the hips rotate and we end up like this. But we do the opposite, actually. We try to open the pelvis a little bit so that we can level the hips, resulting in the spine being completely upright. If we do the same as in the warrior 1, the spine will curve. We don't want that in this pose. It's a little bit awkward in the beginning to twist your hips in the opposite direction, but that's how it's properly done. Okay. switch. Parsvottanasana. Parsva means flank, Uttan means stretched up. It's the pose where you put your hands behind your back in Namaskar. So we spread the feet, but just a little. Then we join the hands behind the back. Turn 90 degrees with the feet misaligned, so do not align the feet, misalign. Then first, arch back as far as you can. And then slowly, maintaining a hollow back, pivoting on the hip joints, bend forward. So people often bend their back, but we shouldn't. The exercise is much more intense if we focus purely on the tilt of the pelvis. It's not about putting the nose on the knee, it's really about working the hips well, properly. It's tempting to switch immediately, but it's important to take a little break. Allow the energy to settle. And then switch. The reason why you don't spread the feet too wide is because it's very difficult to align the hips. When you spread the feet wide, it's difficult to keep the hips square. Now, because you want the spine to remain unbent, you spread the feet not too wide, allowing you to keep the hips square. And when the hips are square, the spine is straight. All right. Now I will write 3 exercises in a row because they will be in a sequence. Starting with Salamba Sarvangasana, which we know as the shoulder stand. The first variation. There are many variations of the shoulder stand, of which one is Halasana. And they're always done in sequence. The two come in a pair. And when we're done with this, when you're done with Halasana, you come back through Salamba Sarvangasana and you lie down in Savasana, which is the corpse pose. And when we're done with Savasana, we sit on the cushion and we meditate. Okay, so for this you lie down on the back. And to do shoulder stand properly, you do it slowly and controlled if possible. You stretch up the arms above the head. You raise the legs without bending them. Then the hips. And then you move the hands to the back to support. Then support firmly. And try to arrange the shoulders in such a way that you're actually standing on the shoulders, not on the neck. Then many yoga teachers tell you to flex, to push your toes to the ceiling. We do the opposite. I will explain why. You flex the toes and you push the heels up. What happens when you do that is that the back side of the legs is extended. So all the way from the neck up to the heels, the back of the body is extended. When you point the toes, that extension stops halfway. Halasana, hala is a plow, and it actually looks like a plow, the ancient plow, drawn by an ox or a horse. You lower the feet over the head, then you clasp the fingers, and you push the hands down behind the back. If you have a yoga routine, whatever exercises you do, always do a shoulder stand in your routine. Integrate a shoulder stand in your routine. Shoulder stand is referred to as the mother of all asanas, saying, like a mother strives for harmony in the home, the shoulder stand strives for harmony within your body. It's a very nice exercise to finish the asana session with. When you're done, you come into Salamba Sarvangasana, stretch up the hands above the head, and you try to come down slowly and controlled. And you end up in Savasana. You close your eyes, breathe deep and calm, and relax the whole body. Okay, clasp the fingers, stretch yourself out, and then please get ready for the meditation. The meditation is the same as the first session. So simply observing and going with the flow. Yes?